What's up, Jags fans? I hope you guys are doing good. I know there may be some angst going into week 3 after the loss we had to the Chiefs, but I think by the end of this show, I can convince you that it's not as bad as you think. And before I kind of really get to what I'm going to say, follow the Instagram, follow the Twitter. We usually do shows Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights is usually the night because we get the all 22 from NFL.com. We like all 22 way better for various reasons. But those of you that watch the channel know I'm coaching a middle school football team this season, and we have a game pretty far away tomorrow night. So instead of risking doing a late night show, I figured we'd get it out of the way on Monday. That we are doing the show tonight. So I'm glad that you are here tonight. This is a fan interactive show. So get in the comments and tell me what you think. We're having some mic problems. Is that what we're saying here? I think we're good here. Listen, I've got some weird mic situations going on now. All right, so I'll keep an eye on the volume here. I can kind of see it. Let me know how everything's going here. All right. I think we're working now, right? Right, Paul? This is a fan show, so I want to make sure everything's working here. All right. So this is my goal tonight, okay? This is my goal. All right. My goal is to here, let me just show you guys. Let me show you here. Small screen. All right, check this out. This is my goal tonight. These are some of my notes, okay? This is my thesis statement, okay? So if those of you that know what a thesis statement is, this is what I'm going to try to do tonight, okay? My thesis statement is, it's not as bad as you think, but the coaching staff needs to make adjustments based on their personnel, okay? So that's the goal of this show. I have a lot of clips loaded up from the game, and I got to be completely honest, because we're doing a Monday show and we're not using the all 22. We ripped some clips straight from the game day broadcast. Sometimes YouTube doesn't like that, but to be honest, we're not here, to make money. So we're gonna go as long as we can. If they shut the stream down mid-show, we had a good run. All right, so that's the thesis statement. It's not as bad as you think. All right, so I'm going to pull this out here. Remember, get in the comments. I'm going to try to get to as many comments as I can. Our Friday shows are typically more comment heavy than our Tuesday shows or Monday shows because of the film breakdowns. But I do always like to get the first people in the chat a shout out. Duval TV says, yo, Nolly Full Cab, channel member. We love the channel members around here. Spams the Blake Bortles emoji. Robert Adsert, who has his own YouTube channel, which you may want to check out and see, says, what's up? Kyle Simmons says, all right. Jag Gator says, the Saints stink, but the offense will get it going. He's not going to overreact in week 2. Texans hate week has started. And he says, P.S., go Gators. The Gators did crack the top 25, but unlike the local radio here in Jacksonville, we're not going to talk about the Gators all the time. We're going to talk about the Jaguars. So that's maybe they caught a stray there. Maybe they didn't. All right, so we're going to jump right into the film because people watch this show for the film breakdowns, not to hear me talk. So we have film broken down into 3 categories. And by categories, I mean folders on my desktop. I have O good, O bad, and defense. Those are my 3 folders here, okay? So we're going to start with O good, okay? Listen, O good. That's what we're going to start with. There's not a lot of clips there, but we are going to start there with O good. All right, so actually, I don't want to start with this play. I want to start with this play here. Okay. All right, so look, and we'll get some context here for sure. All right, so here we have this is the third quarter. Obviously, you guys can see. Let me get everything set up here. Third quarter is a minute 59. So the Jags offense to this point has been pretty lackluster. And then I'll go ahead and get the elephant out of the room here, okay? I think the number one issue with this team is not the play calling. It's not Trevor Lawrence. It's not the offensive line. I don't think – now, all 3 of those things need to be improved. But that's not the chief problem here. And the chief word there was not used intentionally. The problem here is that Doug Peterson and Press Taylor have set up this offense to be successful with a different type of personnel. Hear me out here. Hear me out. Listen, think about what this Jaguars offense has. It has a gunslinger quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. It has an all-purpose running back in Travis Etienne. It has Calvin Ridley, an amazing route runner. It has Christian Kirk, an amazing wide receiver, highest paid player on the team. Evan Ingram, one of the best tight ends in space in the league. And Zay Jones, one of the best spectacular catch players on the sideline. So with all of those weapons, why would you not spread the field? Now, those of you that don't watch film very often or haven't watched the shows very often, Doug Peterson, Andy Reid, they love these tight formations. This Jaguars versus Chiefs game was the same offense playing each other. It really, think about that. All of the matchups the Jags and the Chiefs have had over the last 2 years have been the same offense versus the same offense, okay? And if you watch them, they're all the same. They run this bunch, tight, everyone's condensed, middle of the field, and then squirt out from the middle. That's not what this offense is set up for. This offense has a bunch of pass catchers on it. Get them in space. Your offensive line can't protect. Get Trevor in shotgun in 2 or 3 step drops. Think about this. I had to look this up, but I wanted to make sure I was right. In 2020, when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, their offense was Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, who I'll give you are two great players, but then Sammy Watkins, who's a big name, but only had 37 catches that season, and Demarcus Robinson, who only had 45 catches that season. So essentially, you had two good pass catchers on that team. That makes sense to run that tight formation and get all tricky and all of that stuff. The 2023 Chiefs had a worse offense. Travis Kelce, Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and Justin Ross. They also won a Super Bowl. It makes sense to condense that offense and to get all tricky and to rub route. I get that. The 2017 Eagles that Doug Peterson won with. Zach Ertz, Alshon Jeffrey, Torrey Smith, Nelson Aguilar, Mac Hollins. None of those three teams I just mentioned have near the firepower at wide receiver that the Jags do this year. So I don't think this bunch tight personnel is what this offense needs. I don't think the play calling was bad on Press Taylor. I think Press Taylor was calling plays based on his play sheet that Doug Peterson gave him. But I don't think that play sheet is right for the Jags. This play right here, I like. This is a spread personnel offense staple, okay? So we're going to play it through here. They pre-snap motion Christian Kirk over to the right. So if you take a look, we're going to pause right before the play starts. This is what we call 10 gun, because they have Evan Ingram, so we'll call it 11 gun. All right, 11 gun tray. So this tray indication right here indicates that your tight end is by himself at one side of the line of scrimmage. And then you have trips over here to the right. This is a staple of like a spread offense, right? This is like a spread offense staple because you can do a lot out of this, okay? And so this is one of the few plays where Doug Peterson showed this kind of spread technique, not this condensed personnel. This is third quarter, 1st and 10. We're down by 8. And take a look at what happens here. They get the snap. Chiefs ran their cover 2 pretty much the whole time. Trevor Lawrence rolls out to the right and hits Christian Kirk on a bomb. Nearly scores a touchdown here. Now, like, we don't have the all 22, so we can't see the route concepts of everybody. But when you take a look here, you're stacking one side of the field, but you're spreading sideline to sideline. Like, look at where we're at. I mean, this is still pretty condensed. This is like a cheese spread play here. But at least you're at this sideline here. Okay, and I like this tray personnel. So you get out here and you run a vertical route to Christian Kirk, your highest paid player on your team, by the way, and you put it up there to where he can get it, and he makes a play. There we go. That's what we need. Spread it out. Spread it out. Let's take a look at this Ridley catch here, okay? This is Calvin Ridley, a good catch here. Again, here we are here with this trips bunch tight, okay? This is what we would call, I call this 10 gun because there's one running back and they're in gun formation. Trips, because they got trips to the right, trips right. But this is tight. This is tight personnel. Look at this. Again, a spread offense plays sideline to sideline. And the Jags are choosing every single play to play with half the field. Now, again, that makes sense if you have an offensive line that can pound the ball up the middle, you can run the ball, and you can play action. But this game showed we have no play action. So what happens is, this is a good play, and there's not many of them, but we will play this one good play. You get Calvin Ridley basically one-on-one on the outside. I can't remember. I think the Chiefs roll into a cover 1. Yeah, so the Chiefs are going to disguise pre-snap cover 2 too high. Trevor Lawrence is good enough where he can see this roll down at the snap. They're going to roll into a cover 1. You can see how this corner plays what's called inside leverage, so letting Calvin Ridley release on the outside, basically telling Trevor Lawrence that he's in man coverage. Okay, man coverage, which is great. You have one-on-one with Calvin Ridley in man coverage. Throw it up to him. Like, why didn't we do this all game? And I know this was, you could make the argument this was the end of the half, and there's 14 seconds left. The Chiefs are playing a little bit safe, but they weren't. They were playing cover 1. Cover 1 means you're playing man on the outside. That's not safe, okay? And so you come out here and you throw it to Calvin Ridley. Throw it up to him. Why was he not targeted more? Like, call your game plan based off your personnel. Okay, good play there, though. I'll take that. I'll take that all day. One more play, and we'll get to some comments here. I did like this. I only have 4 plays in my oh good folder. Okay, all right, here we go. Again, here we go. At least we have the right idea here. We're gonna pre-snap motion, and then this is it. This is what I'm trying to say. We're an empty gun, no running back, empty gun. I can't spell. Sorry, boys. Empty gun. 5 wide receivers. Sideline to sideline. The Chiefs are in a one high look. They are playing man. This is a nightmare when you have the talented receivers and a talented receiving tight end like the Jags do. Okay? This is a nightmare. You cannot cover this. And you can do things like this play right here. This is a screen to Evan Ingram. All right? He's a pre-snap. He calls an audible here at the snap. They says, all right, we're going to call a screen. Throws it right away. You get good blocking. Evan Ingram gets upfield. Great play. Spread the field. Spread the field. That's all I'm saying. Like, quit getting all cute. And cute's not a good word because I like cute sometimes. For example, I like this play. People bash this play on Twitter. I love this play. Again, don't love the tight formation here. Like, why are we playing with half the field? You have one of the most you have the most talented receiver room in the NFL. Why are you playing with half the field? Like, use the entire field. Like, come on. Like, your guys are insane route runners, insane pass catchers. We want one-on-one matchups. We want to find soft spots and zones. Why are we trips left bunch with a tight right here? It makes no sense to me at all. And again, I get it. If your receivers are Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore, and Travis Kelce, I get that. But when you have Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Travis Etienne, Zay Jones, and Evan Ingram, spread the field and get one-on-one matchups. Make them play dime. Get the fourth corner out there on Zay Jones or Christian Kirk and then eat. I like this play, though. People hated on it because it's a trick play. This is the play where Kirk throws it back. I'm not going to dump on Anton Harrison because the dude's a rookie. And we talk about on this show all the time how rookie offensive linemen have the hardest adjustment in the NFL. That's the bottom line. The rookie offensive linemen have besides quarterback, they have the largest learning curve of any player. If you make that block there, Anton Harrison, he's probably up the sideline for at least 10. But I don't know if he was injured or what. But, like, bro, this is a trick play designed to throw back to your side. Block the one linebacker who's out there. The one linebacker who's out there, block him. That's all Anton needed to do here. All right, we're going to stay out of YouTube jail. We're going to do some comments here. Sorry if I'm backed up. Palo Choi says, do you think it's too late to add more of these spread plays to our playbook? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Their play calling is clear indication they think the O-line sucks. So why go tight? And listen, I'll listen to the argument that there's a play in our O bad folder where they went max protection, and it was a clear disaster. Clear disaster. If you can't max protect and send out 2 wide receivers, spread the field, get the ball out of Trevor's hands in 3 seconds or less every single play. But you can't continue to trot out there and be terrible on 3rd down and be terrible on 4th down without making adjustments. And it's not even the play calling, because, again, the play calling is set up for what Doug Peterson wants to do, because Andy Reid runs the same plays. All these guys run the same plays. But the personnel is different. You have to adjust to your personnel. And when you have a talented offense like the Jags, and you have a liability on the offensive line like the Jags, and you have a multi-purpose running back like this, spread the field. Go sideline to sideline. Make the defense play dime package. Make them put 4 corners out there and then pick on the weak link. It's that simple. And I'm not trying to sit here and act like I know more than these NFL coaches, but we just went through the rosters these teams had that won the Super Bowl, and they look nothing like the Jags offense. Nothing. We need to get this video to Doug, says Steven Salvador. Steven Salvador needs to go to bed, all right? You need to get some sleep. You got a game tomorrow. Fat Boy Shad says, Jags need to hire you as an offensive assistant. Well, they probably are having this conversation. They probably are. Like, they probably had this conversation in training camp. They probably like, wow, you know what? We probably should spread the field. But you'd be surprised how stubborn these coaches are. You'd be surprised. Nick Chubb, yeah, he's hurt. Hello, chat, says Sharney, channel member. Welcome to No Victory Monday. I hope this isn't a familiar feeling throughout the year. I did look at, you guys realize that Patrick Mahomes is 14-3 after a loss. The Pro Bowl Hall of Fame quarterback Patrick Mahomes is 14-3 after a loss. So that's why I'm saying don't get too upset. The guy's a generational talent at quarterback. He he wins after losses. And what makes it, and this is what makes the loss frustrating to a lot of people. And listen, I get it. We were at home. It was the first home game. Trevor Lawrence has all this hype about being like a top 3 quarterback. So we wanted him to like show out, and he did the opposite. We wanted to beat a team who's established the Super Bowl champions. We wanted to beat them to like kind of boost our resume. And quote unquote, the defense held the Chiefs to a low scoring game. And that's true. But after rewatching the film, the defense played great. Do not get me wrong. But I think that Kansas City shot themselves more in the foot than the Jags played well on defense. Like there was one drive where we had the Chiefs in like 3rd and 22, and they ended up getting the first down, and they ended up scoring on that drive. Like you cannot give up 3rd and 22. And like it's like the Chiefs had way more penalties. The Chiefs like had way more bad timing on. They had 3 turnovers, like on bad turnovers. And I know the defense forced that. You have to give them credit, but Chiefs shot themselves in the foot. They played sloppy, man. They had snaps when Mahomes wasn't ready, and Mahomes, they had Kadarius Toney fumble the ball for minus 15 yards in the second half. Like they played super sloppy. And yeah, the defense forced some of that, but the offense just didn't show up. They didn't execute. So the Chiefs D, the second coming of the 85 Bears or something. No, it just wasn't. I mean, we didn't execute. I mean, look, we'll get to some more film here. We'll go bad here. Golly, what do I even want to start with? We'll start with this play here. This is the max. This is what I'm talking about. So this is after the halftime adjustments. It's the third quarter. The Jags only scored 6 points. So they're like, all right, like we can't protect Trevor. So they have an idea. Here's what we'll do. We'll trot out. Was this 2 tight ends? Okay, so 2 tight ends. So we have 12 ace personnel. Okay, so it's first down. The Chiefs are stacking the box. Look at this. I mean, the box is absolutely stacked. They are predicting run. This was a great play call. Okay, great play call because we can run play action out of this. And if the offensive line does their job, the play action should set up these. I think it's a scissors concept that these 2 receivers should get open. This is max protect. If you cannot block with 7 people, 8 with a running back because he blocks. So they have 8 people in pass protection. 8 people in pass protection. Watch this. 8 offensive players in pass protection. I know I keep saying that, but and they're still on Trevor in 3 seconds. So yeah, like that's a bad play call. But you got to know that you can't do that. You got to know you can't do that. And again, look at this. Look, here we are again. Tight formation. We're using a quarter of the field. A quarter of the field. We are barely outside of the hashes, boys. Barely outside of the hashes. And I'm not trying to beat them up because this is what has worked for them. And it's only week 2, so we're okay. But they have to realize that, like, doesn't work. This doesn't work with who we have. Now, maybe blame the injuries. Maybe blame Cam Robinson for the PED suspension. Blame whoever you want. But at the end of the day, don't line up every 11 players inside the hashes. Like, I can't be taking crazy pills here. Like, what are we doing? And yeah, this play should work. But max protect, Trevor has no time. And for all the people that are upset about Trevor, and being like, oh, Trevor airmailed the end zone and Trevor missed some throws in the back of the end zone. Let's just take a second and I'll do this with you. Let's take a deep breath. We're not mad. We're not mad. We're not mad. Here's why. Look back at that draft that Trevor Lawrence got drafted in 2021. Okay? Think about it. Take a second. Close your eyes. Think about the quarterbacks that went in that draft. Okay? You're talking Zach Wilson immediately after Trevor Lawrence. You're talking Trey Lance immediately after Zach Wilson. You're talking Justin Fields at pick 11. You're talking Mac Jones in the first round. All of those guys bums. Not even the same stratosphere as Trevor Lawrence. Okay, let's go to the second round. Kyle Trask can't beat out Baker Mayfield. Okay. Into the Kellen Mond, third round. Davis Mills, third round. Maybe you're an Ian Book fan. Maybe you're a Sam Ellinger. That draft was horrendous for quarterbacks. We got the only quarterback in that draft who can play football. So let's relax on Trevor. He's fine. He does need to be set up for success. What kind of offense do you think Clemson ran when he was there? The spread offense. Spread the field. Sideline to sideline. It's not that complicated. It's really not here. All right, let's take a look at another play. Let's do a run play. You guys know I like run plays. All right, this is just, I don't really know how to feel about this play here. All right, and I'll get to some of these comments here in a second. Again, I hate to beat a dead horse. We're playing in the freaking hashes. Why are we playing in the hashes? You have the most explosive wide receivers. Listen, you're letting the Chiefs play all of their players on a third of the field. Listen, when you're a defensive player, I'm a defensive coach. When you're this player, when you're this player, when you're this player or this player, you're pre-snap, you're keying. The only direction these guys can go is vertical or out. Because if they drag, you have help there. In fact, your help is 2 feet away. And you know your pass rush is going to get there. Why are we so condensed? Why are we so tight in the formation here? Like, what are we doing here? Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, I got to pause it here. Evan Ingram does a good job of being like, yo, this dude, and I got to give him credit. He's like, yo, this dude's blitzing. Like, he came up from here to here, and he could be playing press man. And from this angle of the camera, like, he could just be playing press man on Evan Ingram. But Evan Ingram's, like, trying to tell Trevor, like, yo, this dude is blitzing. So somehow he knew. Maybe he watched film. Maybe he knew. But look, look, Trevor's changing the play, and Evan Ingram's like, bro, he's blitzing. He is blitzing. Please, he's blitzing. Do not run the ball over here, okay? He's trying to tell him. And look what happens. There comes the corner blitz. And why is that a big deal? Because it eats this right tackle block. And because it eats this right tackle block, now your linebackers can flow to the ball unblocked. He was supposed to get one of these linebackers. Okay, great call by Steve Spagnuolo. Great call to blitz him on this play. We talk about all the time that play calling between coordinators is a lot of times comes down to rock, paper, scissors. Who calls rock when the other person calls scissors? That's what it comes down to a lot of time. Spagnuolo called the corner blitz at the perfect time. That's going to leave these linebackers unblocked, and they're going to be able to flow to the play and make a play on the ball. This is first down. This is the end of the first half. And look, ETN goes for nothing. And I thought ETN played a pretty good game. I thought the inside zone at the middle was pretty good from ETN. But you just bad play call to what they called. Couldn't get there. Chandler Berger, and again, sorry, boys, if I missed some of the comments. You guys know how these film breakdowns go, but Chandler Berger says, he's a channel member, by the way. He says, I don't know if it's been mentioned, but hearing that Trevor called that first and goal play makes me a lot less frustrated. We're going to get to that in a second, Chandler. He said, also, the defense killed. I would have expected to be more worried about the offense than the defense at this point in the season. Again, like I said earlier, the Chiefs were terrible. I mean, Jawan Taylor himself set the team back tremendously. They had turnovers, 3 turnovers that we got. They had a Kadarius Toney fumble that was a minus 15. Like, the Chiefs played one of the worst games I've ever seen their offense play. And yeah, you have to give the defense credit, but a lot of those were unforced errors. And I don't know. Fatboy Shad says, when Travis kicked the ball in the stands, I thought that was disrespect toward our D, but he's too good. We have that play queued up too, Fatboy. Nick Ludwig, channel member, says, Chris Jones pretty much beat us by himself. Oh, we're getting on that soapbox too, because the first drive of the game, he whooped Anton Harrison one-on-one, and we did not make an adjustment until the fourth quarter. Ben Haney says, half the stadium were Chiefs fans. Did Jags fans just not care to show up or something? Was Jason Kelsey right about us? No, listen, boys. This is an underrated aspect about being a Jaguars fan. And listen, I've been a Jaguars fan my entire life, okay? I'm somebody that takes one away trip every year. It's like the only thing in my life I probably preemptively plan for in advance. I look at the schedule. I say, okay, this is the game. I'm taking an away trip to. If you're an opposing team, if you're a Chiefs fan, if you're a Bills fan, if you're any of these fans, Jacksonville is that game for you. Everybody wants to go to Florida. The weather's amazing. The Jaguars are a good team. So, yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of fans here, but that's the way that it goes. Like, we are a destination city. I was out the night before with some friends at some local establishments at the beach. Chiefs fans everywhere. And all I was talking about was that when I went to Kansas City, there was Jags fans everywhere. It did seem like the stadium was like that, but don't get too caught up in that. This is the play Fred Taylor was talking about on the postgame show. The other line didn't even help Trevor up. The O-line, yeah. Receivers in the end zone need to take notes from figure skating, toe pick, get those feet in bound. Well, it's easier said than done. All right. Let's look at that play that Trevor Lawrence called his own number on. Listen, I'm okay with this. This was obviously a zone read. Trevor saw something where he thought that he could have kept it and it would have been a good play. But again, why aren't you running a QB sneak here on the 1 yard line? Or why are you so why are we using half the field every single play, dude? Imagine if this tight end was out here and this DB was out here. Okay? And then now you have just one guy here. So now this zone read becomes a lot easier. Jamal Agnew going in motion. Just a good play there. Just a good play. Good play by the defense. They sniffed it out. And listen, I'm not even mad. Call your own number, Trevor. Listen, Trevor's my franchise quarterback. If he comes to the line of scrimmage and he makes a pre-snap adjustment, go with it. Trust your gut, Trevor, because 9 times out of 10, that pre-snap adjustment is going to be the right decision. It wasn't here. That's fine. That's football. But this is first down. You still have 2 more plays and really 3 more plays to get into the end zone. That should not be an issue here, okay? So that's fine. No big deal there. Let's see here. What else do we have? We have this was the 3rd down on that same drive, okay? So 3rd down, this is the play here. Again, decent. I like the spacing here. Still not a complete spread, okay? Again, sideline to sideline. Let's just do it. I get it. You want to stick to your offensive philosophy. But we're not running the ball, and we're not throwing swing passes out here with regularity to where this makes sense to seal block and get it. We're not doing that. So, okay, this is actually a decent play call here. I like this because this is you have your 10 personnel, you have your trips out here to the right. I like that. Everything's covered up pretty well. And Trevor makes the right read. He just overthrows him. He's wide open. He just overthrows him. And again, it looks like the ball slipped out of his hand. It really does. If we look, do I have it later here? Good route concept here. Everything's covered up. Everything. This was the right read. Zay Jones is wide open. You just got to put that ball on Zay Jones. That's going to happen, man. That's going to happen. All right, 4th and 5. All right, I love the fact that we went for it here. Okay, it's the end of the half. We don't really have much going on. It's 4th and 5. 4th down. When you are a play caller, you have your laminated play sheet. You have an entire section that's highlighted in a different color that says 4th down plays. They're your 4th down. They're the plays that you don't run. You save them for just 4th down. They have to work. They legitimately have to work, okay? That's how play callers index their play sheets. Again, the Jags are playing with 1/3 of the field, okay? And again, this maybe works if you have some insane blockers and you're running inside zone for days and your running back is just torching them up the middle. We're using 1/3 of the field here. We do pre-snap motion with Christian Kirk. Goes back outside. Just no chance here. Does he have someone open? This is a slow. Here's the thing, man. And again, I hate beating a dead horse. And this is a film breakdown sounds pretty negative here. Okay. But here's the problem with this trips bunch is you have to let it unfold systematically. Okay. The offense has to, and the defense has to. He's playing first guy out, he's playing first guy in, and he's playing first guy vertical, and he's just trying to jam and disrupt everything. That's how the defense is playing it. And you teach these 4 guys to let it unfold. Why do we say let it unfold? Because it takes time to unfold out of a bunch, which is fine. There's value in that. But when your offensive line can't block and Kansas City's blitzing all the time because they know you can't block, that's maybe not the time to run your slow developing trips bunch. And look how long it takes these guys to get into their routes. That's too slow. By the time Christian Kirk turns around, look, Christian Kirk's the only valid option here. By the time he turns around, he's got Chris Jones in his face, a hands to the face here by Anton Harrison, because you still haven't learned to double team Chris Jones. And it's a sack. It's just poor coaching. It's just poor game planning. And it's not even like they didn't stick to their guns. It's they just didn't bring the right game plan. Trevor should have thrown the ball away. He was out of the box. A dome or stadium cover would have been worth 2 to 3 touchdowns for us. Bring it on, says BT. Trevor's going to cost us games going rogue. I don't know about that, Israel. Like I said, I read off the quarterbacks that were taken in that draft. I'd rather Trevor go rogue than have Zach Wilson or Justin Fields or Trey Lance as a quarterback. I'll take that. I'll take this game. I will take this game 10 times out of 10 before I ever want Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, or Justin Fields. That's the bottom line. I'll take this. Week 2, people are like more pissed about this. At least the Colts were a divisional opponent. That has playoff implications, like us making the playoffs. This game, not even an AFC South division. I know we all wanted to beat them because they're the benchmark of the AFC, but I don't think they'll be as good as people think this year. So, I don't know. I mean, again, poor blocking up front. But again, like, is it Anton Harrison's fault that he can't block Chris Jones one-on-one? I had this conversation with a friend. How many offensive linemen can you think of off the top of your head that can block Chris Jones one-on-one? You could maybe think of a handful. You maybe could. Anton's not one of them, especially not in his second game. So you, as a coaching staff, have to be like, hey, tight end, you are going to pre-snap motion to the side that Anton Harrison is on. I'm sorry, the side that Chris Jones is on every single play. Every single play. Why do they not do that? Why do they not have Brenton Strange in the game motioning to Chris Jones' side every single snap and chipping Chris Jones every single play? Would that not have been more effective than having Jamal Agnew out there as an extra wide receiver? Or Luke Farrell out there as a blocking tight? Like, isn't that more effective? Like, that's just common sense, man. We played too cute against the Super Bowl champions. Play calling has to be better, but saw way too much of this last year where we didn't win in convincing fashion except Titans in Houston. All right, let's take a look at this Trevor Lawrence sack here while we're hating on the offensive line. Listen, guys, you got to take a deep breath. Because this is the first quarter. So, but again, dude, why are we playing in a third of the field? Why are we doing this to ourselves? The Chiefs get to play 11 on 11. For those of you that don't know, the field is 50 yards wide. 50 yards wide. We are using 25 of it, if that. So they're playing 11 on 11 on a 25-yard field when we have the best receiving core in the NFL. Why? Because this makes this easy like I said, this makes it easy on these guys. They're either out or vertical. That's the only thing they have to worry about. If they're lined up out here, guess what? They can go vertical, they can go a drag, they can go post, they can go bubble. This is just too easy. It's too easy. Let's see what happens here. Can't remember. Trevor just calling some sort of audible pre-snap. Oh, God. This was the first play that Chris Jones. This is third down. This is the first play that Chris Jones, and obviously the Chiefs had this game plan. They said, we're going to create a situation where Chris Jones and Anton Harrison are in one-on-one situations. Look at this pre-snap alignment, right? So this is what's called a 9 technique. This is like way out there. This is a pass rushing technique. It's 3rd and 6. This is what's called the 9 technique. Chris Jones is actually better known as an interior defensive lineman. They have him lined up as a 9 technique because they know Anton Harrison has no shot against him. Okay, they're going to line someone up in the 7 technique, outside shoulder of the tackle. So then Sheriff's going to have to push out. So guaranteed you have one-on-one, and they're showing a blitzer. Okay, so we're in trouble here. This is like we got out-coached right here. Look at the snap. Fortner initially pushes this way. Okay, so we're going to double team this guy, and we're going to leave Chris Jones and Anton Harrison one-on-one on an island. And look, Chris Jones is what makes Trevor step up in the pocket. It's just poor game planning and poor execution. It's not good. It's just not good. And that's just not being ready. That's just not being ready. And I love the coaches. And I don't talk bad about coaches typically. This was just poor game plan. A poor game plan. And you would think playing them 3 times that we would have a good game plan going into this game. This was like 3rd and 2 at the end of the first quarter here. I'm not gonna keep getting on this, but what are we doing, dude? What are we freaking doing? It's 3rd down. Spread the field. God. Okay. We're gonna go 20. We're gonna go 20 personnel. And this one's kind of on Trevor because the play design is actually not terrible because, I mean, they do end up having, I think Evan Ingram is in the middle of the field open. So Evan Ingram, Trevor, if you watch Trevor is kind of keyed in on this Christian Kirk throw the entire time. He never looks away. And you know, this defender does a good job coming downhill and making a tackle. It was a little lollipop throw. All the Chiefs have their hands up. Great job. Maybe punch them in the ribs, boys. Maybe think about that so they don't do that. But the real throw is right here. I mean, it's a first down. It's a first down right there to Evan Ingram. So, bad read. Again, I'm not going to get on Trevor too much because he's better than a lot of other quarterbacks in the league. All right, what do we have here? This is just a Calvin Ridley drop here. Okay, again, 2nd and 6. We're going to be using a third of the field. Okay, third of the field here. And I think Ridley runs a slant here. And he just drops it. I mean, that's a good play design. I mean, not a great throw by Trevor. I think we see a reverse angle here. Not a great throw by Trevor. Ridley will probably tell you he's going to catch that. But how much easier is that play? If you're going to run a slant with the best route runner in the NFL, why would you not put a guy here and a guy down here and run slants with the field? Give your guy a more chance. And they made the right call because the Chiefs actually rolled into a cover 2. And so middle of the field was open. Great call. Just wasn't executed. This is Zay Jones on the tiptoe here. Not a bad play. Again, look what we're doing here. 3rd and 7. We're actually using the whole field. Imagine that. A successful play where we use the whole field. 10 gun personnel. We're 2 by 2. Great job. I love it. Look how spread out the Chiefs are. You have a corner out here. You have safeties that have to play entire halves of the field, not just a third. Okay, like this is what we want when you have a great receiving core. And you can do things like this. You can throw it up to Evan Ingram. Great play design. A little corner out. I love it. You gave him a chance to make a play because you spread the field. Like, that's it. That's it. You got him a one-on-one. And that's all you can ask for. It didn't work out. I think we see a toe tap here. I mean, this is close. And Zay Jones makes these catches all the time. Great defense. I mean, you're a yard away from a touchdown right there. Robert Adler says the field's 53.3 yards wide. Okay. Chazon got a sack and we didn't. Okay. All right. Okay. You're trying to act like I don't have the Chazon sack loaded up. You got to be kidding me if you don't think I have Clavon's sack loaded up. Look at my boy. And here's what I want to actually go back and talk about. Okay? For all of you Jags fans that were out there bashing his video of him in the sand swatting the bees, right? You guys remember that, okay? And I was like, guys, chill on my boy, okay? You guys are all like, he looks so stupid. Watch my boy's technique here, okay? Watch him. Watch his technique and tell me where he practiced this technique, all right? You tell me. Look at this. Swat. Keep going. Swat. Let's go, baby. That's a Clavon sack. And y'all were bashing him for the sand videos. You all owe him an apology. That's the exact same drill you guys all made fun of him for. We'll play that again, just for the haters in the back that didn't see it. Look at this. Swat. Look at this hustle play. Swat. Let's freaking go, Clavon. Let's freaking go. Almost caused a fumble, too. Murtaza says, LOL. Matthew Cross says, that's an interesting analysis. Why do you think they chose to bunch and tight like this? So the benefits are, if you have good blocking receivers and tight ends that can also run good routes, is you can run the ball really effectively from that tight formation. You can force the defense to play some of their nickel packages with an extra defensive back, or you can make them play their base formations with extra linebackers, and then you can throw it on them. But we can't run the ball or protect Trevor or run play action. So it makes this bunch formation kind of useless. That should have been a fumble on Mahomes, says Ascension Burner. RM Skip, who's a channel member, says, what's going on? The loss was tough. Offense has underperformed. So would you say it's poor execution or bad coaching? I would say it was a bad game plan. So I guess that goes to coaching. The execution was bad. So both. It was poor execution and bad game plan. I don't think the coaching was bad. I think they ran the game plan effectively that they wanted to run. It just was the wrong game plan. Rico says, let's go. Montana says, he's him. RM Skip is laughing. Robert Azert, 4th sack in 4 years. He gets a trophy. Give him the bag, says Murtaza. Listen, I just want y'all to at least give him his credit here. All right, this is Andre Cisco interception. This was a great play here. Okay, because this was, listen, there's like, I don't really know. I'm not in the huddle. There's a chance this was a cover 6. Okay, a cover 6 is a what's called a quarter half, right? And that's where these guys play quarters, and then he plays a half. It could have been that. I'm not in the huddle. It could have just been a disguised cover 2. Again, I'm not in the huddle. But pre-snap, they're going to disguise what they're doing, and Cisco's actually going to end up with half-field responsibilities to the left. Okay, so keep that in mind. Cisco's going to end up with half-field responsibilities to the left. Great pressure here. Good hit. Cisco makes a great play. Again, makes a great play coming across the field. Cisco, you guys like using the word he's him. Cisco's him now. Cisco's him. That's for dang sure. Josh Allen, great job with the pressure. Great play. For all the drops Cisco has as a DB, that's a good play right there. Jag Gator says, bold prediction, Cam Robinson takes left tackle and Little goes to left guard, and the Jags have the best O-line the rest of the season. I like that, Jag Gator. That Kelsey touchdown, Taylor false started bad. Yeah. Here's a forced fumble here. This one's probably pretty good here. Let's take a look. I think is it Herndon or Lucan forces this? Oh, look at this. The Chiefs are 3rd and 7, and they're using the entire field. That's freaking crazy. Imagine that, Doug Peterson. All right. Too much time back there. I mean, here's another thing. And again, I'm not going to – my call has been fine, but I don't think we blitzed a single time. I don't think we – Kansas City blitzed their asses off against us. I mean, they were bringing pressure from the corner, from the safety, from the linebackers. We don't think we blitzed one time. I don't think we blitzed one time. It's 3rd and 7, dude. It's 3rd and long. This is the time to blitz. Make Mahomes throw it quick, and because he's going to play safe because he's on his half of the 50. Why? I mean, send 4, we get no pressure. We drop into it ends up being a cover 3. I mean, luckily, Aluakon, or is that Williams? Luckily, Darius Williams forces a fumble here. I mean, if we look at that again, look at this timing. I mean, that's a fraction of a second between them converting a 3rd and long and Darius Williams making a great play. Great play, though, Darius. Great play. Trevon Walker is becoming known for this, by the way. A little tackle, getting down the line of scrimmage and tackle for loss. I mean, he's a monster in the run game. And he kind of showed us that last year. And, we want to see him get sacks, but he is a monster in this run game. Let's take a look here again. Nope. Sorry. And that was 2nd and 5. I mean, that's a big down right there. Big down. Here's Kelsey's touchdown. This is the one where he punted it into the end zone. Jags show too high at the snap. Let's see if they stay there. I can't remember. No, they kind of play a robber. And when we see the reverse angle, I have the reverse angle here. And this is just like, I don't know what to do here because I don't know like what you would do different. This is just Mahomes getting outside the pocket. You have two defensive players here, and Kelsey sitting here. Like he's one of the best tight ends in the league. So him squirting this way and Mahomes hitting him, and that's hard to stop there, boys. And I mean, maybe Devin Lloyd should have sank a little bit more here, but there's not a lot you can do about that. There's really not. So that's a good tight end, and that's a good quarterback, and that's someone who has good relationship with each other. Like there's not many defenses that's stopping that. There's not. And that's what makes the Chiefs the Chiefs. And that's what makes good offenses. There's sometimes they're going to do things that you can't stop. There's another play here that this one right here. You can't stop this play. I think this was who was playing defense here? I can't remember. Yeah, I mean this is Trey Herndon, and Trey Herndon caught a lot of flack for this, but like this is a hard play to make here. I mean, this is just when you run that corner route. I mean, look at where it's starting. Okay, first of all, your route is starting over here, and it's going to end over here. You would hope the D line can get some pressure. They don't. And then on top of the play lasting 4 seconds, it's all day back there in the pocket. All day back there in the pocket. He makes an insane throw. And then when you see the reverse angle, like that's good coverage. Sometimes we have this saying on defense, you cannot stop a perfect catch and a perfect pass. That's a perfect pass and a perfect catch. Hand is in between him and the ball, and he still catches it. I thought Herndon played a pretty good game. I thought he played well against run support. I thought he did well block shedding. I thought he did well in man coverage and zone coverage. People knock on him for this, but you can't play this much better. You really cannot play this much better. He's on his hip, chased him clear across the field in man coverage on a corner route from the opposite side of the field. Like, you can't blame Trey Herndon for that. I'm sorry. There's not a lot of DBs in the NFL. There's not probably any that can do that. So, are there any more plays here? This one here this is the last one I'll show. And this has been kind of a bash. And again, if this is your first show, it's not usually this bad, but you guys were at the game. Here's what irked me about this play. This was the exact same play that the Chiefs ran coming out of half in the Super Bowl last year. The exact same play. So if the coaching staff had done their homework and seen what the Chiefs like to do coming out of half, when they saw this formation, and this is 13 personnel. That's 3 tight ends, boys. I mean, that's either max protection or a run. Either way, send some people. Okay? Send some people. All right? 13 personnel. 3 tight ends. Pre-snap motion. Kicks out. Just a terrible way to start the half. And again, the same play they ran in the Super Bowl. The exact same play. You got to know. You got to know that that's coming. So, again, let's go back. Let's go back to the thesis statement here. All right, we're going to go back to the thesis statement. We'll make it big for y'all. It's not as bad as you think, but the coaching staff needs to make adjustments based on their personnel. That's it. That's it. That's the bottom line. It's week 2. We're fine. Jaggator says, I'm surprised you haven't showed PFF. I didn't have time. When I started clipping plays, I was like, I'm not going to have time for PFF. I'm going to try to do a show later in the week. I'm not going to be able to do one tomorrow night, unfortunately. I'm going to try to do a show later in the week where we kind of talk about some of that, but I just didn't have time for it, unfortunately. Ascension Burner says, do you think we'll be better in the red zone if everyone wears a red Jaguars caps like UCF does? I feel it create more energy. Just kidding. Just kidding. Love you, UCF. I don't know. UCF catching strays out here? RM Skip says, being out there, we as fans also need to get loud when the opposition is in the huddle and not after they begin to approach the line. They know the play already, like we're being fair to them. Ron Beecher says, what's up, Jag Brothers? Listen, I'm not blaming the fans. I heard it was pretty loud in there. It was super hot. So I don't know. Ron Beecher says, video breakdowns are epic. PFF breakdowns are lame. Need more happy videos. I know this one's a little sad, but you guys know me. I'm a realist person here. I do things differently, and I'm gonna actually reserve judgment. I'm not gonna blame the Jags coaching staff because I want to see them next week against Houston come out and change their game plan. Spread the field. Stop running everything. Stop running your whole game plan inside the hashes. Stop. Like, no, don't do that anymore. That's it for me, man. Friday night is the plan for the next show. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so that you get notifications when we go live. I know Monday nights aren't great for people because they're watching Monday Night Football, and so that's why I don't usually do shows on Monday night. But like I said, I'm a little occupado tomorrow night, so I wanted to get the film breakdown done tonight so that you guys could watch it and all of that. Appreciate y'all being here. Listen, the channel members, you guys were great. RM Skip. We had scrolling to Chandler Berger, Sharney, Nick Ludwig, Nolly Full Cab, all the channel members. You guys know I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being in the chat. You can thumbs up the video. You can share this video with a friend if you'd like. That would be awesome as well. And I will see you on Friday night. But until then, as always, go Jags.